morning, students. This is Neha Sharma from the Department of Mathematics at University. We are on to discrete structures. We have so far studied set theory, relations, and functions. Okay. Now we are at theorem proving techniques, the last topic, okay, of this unit. The topic that we would study today is principle of mathematical induction. I hope this topic is a revision one because this topic has been studied by you in some 11th or 12th standard, I guess. Okay, but one of the principles of mathematical induction have been studied by you. The other principle that is being known as the extended version of it, or the second principle of mathematical induction, that we would study in today's video only. Okay, so let's start. Let's first see the outlines for today's video. Okay, it follows like this. First we would see the prerequisites. Okay, we would see the prerequisites that we would need in studying uh, PMI. Okay, then we would see certain real life examples of a PMI. Okay, then we would see the actual principle of mathematical induction that is there. Then we would see certain examples over that. Okay, then we would see the second principle of mathematical induction. Then we would see an example over the second principle of mathematical induction, and we would have some exercise, learning outcomes, and then references. So let's start with the prerequisites first. Okay. So the first thing that we need to know before getting into PMI is natural numbers. Okay, why? Because PMI is a technique that has been applied on natural numbers only. So you obviously should be aware of what a natural number is. Okay, then you should know what is functions, and obviously certain basic operations would be good. Okay, now let's see certain real life examples on principle of mathematical induction. Okay, okay. Let's see this. Mathematical induction is being used in proving a result to be true for all k plus 1 if the result is true for previous iterations. So what this is saying, that mathematical induction is a mathematical tool, okay, to prove a result if it is true for certain values of n. Okay, so if we had a result that is being true for certain starting values of the natural numbers, then we can prove that result for all the other values of the natural number. Okay, so if we have a result that is true for n is equals to 1, okay, and also it is being true for some other k, then it can be proved true for k plus 1, k plus 2, k plus 3, and so on. Okay, so basically the first example, the first real life application of PMI would be that it is being applied to mathematical uh, theorem proving techniques. Okay, so this is the very important theorem proving technique that mathematicians use in order to prove a result for natural numbers. Okay, so I hope the first application is pretty much clear. Let's see about the second one. Uh, Okay, so we'll see the example of falling dominoes. Okay, so if we have put all the dominoes like this, okay, one after the other, then obviously if you touch the last one, or maybe the first one, this one, if you touch this one, then obviously all the other dominoes will fall down. Okay, now, see how mathematical induction is being used over here. So basically, if you touch this one, this first one, okay, this first one, then obviously all the other dominoes will fall. Okay, so the result is true for n is equals to 1. Okay, for the first one, it is true. Then let's see for some domino which is there. Okay, so let's see for n is equals to k also. Okay, it is being true because obviously if you touch any of the domino, okay, any kth value of the domino, it would fall down all the other dominoes after that. Okay, all of these dominoes would fall down. Okay, so since the result is true for n is equals to 1 and n is equals to k, we can obviously prove this result for n is equals to k plus 1. Okay, this is what mathematical induction says. Okay, which is true over here also. So this is a very fun and a very small example of PMI, but obviously PMI is being applied to many more real life situations. Okay. Now let's come, since we have discussed so much about application of this, let's see what the principle actually has to say. Okay. So, first of all, the first and the foremost thing is that this uh, principle, okay, so this principle is a method to prove a statement for all the natural numbers. So it is being applied for all the natural numbers. It's not that, so if you want to see the result for real numbers, no, this is not the method that you would use. You would use this method only when you want to see it for natural numbers. Okay, let's say this. This principle states that if any result is true for n is equals to 1, then assuming the result for n is equals to k, the result will be true for n is equals to k plus 1. Okay, so I hope that's pretty much clear. So basically, what happens in this principle is that if the principle is true for n is equals to, see this, for n is equals to 1, if this is true, we would check this. Okay, so if this is true for n is equals to 1, then we would suppose that it would be true for some k also. Okay, and if that is true for some k, then we would prove that it would be true for k plus 1 also. Okay, so we have basically three steps. So if we put this into a step by step procedure, then the first step would become, it is known as the basis step. So the first step would be that we would check and prove the result for n is equals to 1. So we would check if the result is true for n is equals to 1 or not. Okay. So if that is true, then we would come to the next step, which is known as the induction hypothesis step. Okay. Obviously, this says hypothesis, so obviously we would suppose something over here. Okay. So we would suppose the result for n is equals to k. Okay. Then the third step, then we would come to the third step, which is inductive step. This is the most important step because we have to prove something over here. Okay. What we have to prove? We have to prove the above result for n is equals to k plus 1. We have proved, we have checked it for n is equals to 1. We have supposed this for n is equals to k. Now we are proving this for n is equals to k plus 1. Okay, and by this the principle of mathematical induction will finish. Okay, now please see this. We basically have two steps. This is the first step, which is the basis step, and the second step is the collection of both of these steps. Okay, which is the induction step. Okay, so if there are books, okay, or there are certain authors that takes into account only two steps. So the first step is the basis step, and the second step is the induction step. Now, induction step is divided into two further steps, which has a hypothesis step and inductive step, wherein you have to prove the result. Okay, so okay, so if you want to um, give this three steps, it, that's good. And if you want to go by two steps, that's also pretty much fine. Now let's see it over here. So we have an example over principle of mathematical induction. Let's see. Okay. So prove that 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2, up till 2n minus 1 is equals to n to the power 2. Okay. So we have to prove this result. Now we have to prove this result for n is equals to 1, 2, 3, and so on. So we have to prove this result for the set of natural numbers. Okay. Hence, uh, uh, where is the cursor? Okay. We have to prove this result for n is equals to 1, 2, 3 up till yes, so all the natural numbers. Hence, we would use what? Principle of mathematical induction. Now let's see. The first and the basic step is basis step. Okay, wherein what you have to do, we have to show the result. Okay, we have to check and show the result for n is equals to 1. Okay, so the left hand side, let's see the left hand side of the result. Left hand side of the result is 1 plus 3 plus 5. Basically, you are adding all the odd numbers. Okay, so the first term would be 1 only. Okay, so the left hand side would be only 1. Now let's see the right hand side. Now here it would become 1 to the power 2. Okay, now 1 to the power 2 is 1 to the power 2 is 1 only. Hence LHS and RHS are both equal. Hence, the basis step is done. Okay. Now let's come to the induction hypothesis step. Okay. What you have to do over here, you have to suppose something. What you have to suppose? You have to suppose the result for n is equals to k. Okay. Now let's put the value of n as k. Okay, in the above result. So it would become like this: 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus up till 2k minus 1 is equals to k to the power 2. Okay, so it would be k square. Okay, so we have supposed that this thing is true. Okay, now let's come to the third step, which is the inductor step. Okay, here you have to prove what you have to prove the result for n is equal to k plus 1. Now, in order to prove this result for k plus 1, what you have to do? What you have to actually prove? You have to actually prove that 1 plus 3 plus 5 up till 2 k plus 1 minus 1 is equals to k plus 1 to the power 2. Okay, so this is what you have to prove. Now let's start by LHS, and we would reach at the RHS. Okay, this would not complete, remove this. Okay, so okay. What is the LHS? LHS is 1 plus 3 plus 5 up till 2 k plus 1 minus 1. Now please solve this. Okay. After solving this, we would reach to 2k plus 2 minus 1. Okay. Please remove this. Okay. I don't know why I have written this. Okay. Now it would become 2k plus 2 minus 1. Okay. After that, you would solve this, it would become 2k plus 1. So the final thing that we have got is 1 plus 3 plus 5 up till 2k plus 1. Now this is 2k plus 1. What is the step that would come previous to this step? Just previous to this step. It will be 2k minus 1. Why? Because you have to subtract obviously 2 from it. So it would be 2k minus 1. So we have got 1 plus 3 plus up till 2k minus 1 plus 2k plus 1. Okay. Now let's see this. Okay. Before that, let's see this. Okay. Now this term, please see this part. Okay. Leave the last part. Okay. Now this part can be written as k to the power 2. Why? Because we have written it over here that that 1 plus 3 plus 5 up till 2k minus 1 is equals to k square. We have supposed this. So this is true according to us. So we would put k to the power 2 over here. So it will become k to the power 2 plus 2k plus 1. Okay. So we have got this k to the power 2 plus 2k plus 1. Okay. And obviously this is the formula for a plus b to the power 2. Hence it would become k plus 1 to the power 2. Okay. Hence, the result is true for k plus 1. So we would write that the result is true for k plus 1. Hence, this result would be true for all the n belonging to natural numbers by using PMI. Okay, so that would be your final statement that the result is true. Not the result is true by PMI. The result is true for all the natural numbers by PMI. Okay, that would be the final statement that you have to write. I hope this example and the theorem as the principle is pretty much clear. Now let's see the second principle of mathematical induction. Okay, what does this state? Let's see. So what is Pn over here? Pn is the result that you have to prove. Okay, so let's come back to this. Okay, okay, this one. So this question, let's see in this question. So this thing is the Pn. Okay, in the second principle. Okay, so what is this Pm? This Pm is the result that we have to prove. Okay, so it states that for proving Pn to be true for all the integers n greater than equal to m. Okay, so if you have to prove this for n greater than equal to m, so basically you have to prove this result for all the values greater than equal to some particular value. What is that particular value? It is being denoted by m. Okay, then what you have to do? Then we have two steps. The first step is show Pm to be true. Okay, so the first step is obviously we have to show that that Pm is true, which means if you put m instead of n in your result, okay, the result would be true. Okay, so this we would check and show. Okay, Now, what is the second step? Second step says that starting from pm, and we would go up till some particular value, and we would denote that by k, the result is true. Okay, we would let that all of this is true. Okay, in the first step, what we have done, we have checked for pm. Okay, we have checked for pm, and we have showed that the result is true for pm. Okay, now we would suppose, and we would say that pm is true, pm plus 1 is true, pm plus 2 up till pk is true. So from pm, the result is true up till some particular value k. Okay, so the result pk is also true. Now, after that, what you have to show is, so this can be considered as the third step. So this is the third step, which says pk plus 1 is also true. So if pm plus 1, pm plus 2 up till pk is true, then pk plus 1 is also true. Okay. So here, Acha, please see what is the difference between the two principles. The first one, the first one we start from n is equals to one. Okay, we show the result for the result is true for n is equals to one. Then we let for some particular value k. Now here, the supposing part is being changed. Okay, so what you have to let certain number of steps. Okay, we have supposed that we have proved that PM is true. Now we have supposed that PM plus 1 is also true, PM plus 2 is also true, and so on. PK is also true. Okay, we have let all of these statements. Okay, and then we are proving this result for PK plus 1. Okay, now let's see an example, and that will be more clear by this particular example. So the question says, show that any positive integer n greater than or equal to 2 is either prime or a product of primes. Okay. So basically what's happening over here is that the number from which you have to start is 2. Okay. So you have to start from 2. You're not starting from 1. Hence, we are not using first principle of mathematical induction. We are using the second one. Okay, what is the result? The result is that every integer that you would pick would can be written as the prime or can be written as the product of primes. Okay. So let's first try the basis step. The basis step says for n is equals to 2, as 2 is a prime, the statement is already true. Okay. We have to start from n is equals to 2. Okay, and now for 2, since 2 is a prime, this result is true because the result says either it should be a prime, either it should be a prime or a product of primes. It is already a prime number. Okay, 2 is already a prime number, hence we don't have to prove anything. Okay, it has already been proved. Now let's hypothesize, let's suppose the result over here. Let the result is true for every positive integer between 2 and k. So there is a hypothetical number k somewhere. The result is true from 2 to k. Okay. Now we have to prove the result is true for k is equals to 1 also. Okay. Let's see how do we do that. This is the inductive step. Okay. Prove the result for n is equals to k plus 1. If k plus 1 is a prime, the result is true. Okay, we can have two cases for k plus 1. Now this number k plus 1 can be a prime or a composite number. Okay, so if the case is that the number k plus 1 that we have chosen is a prime number. Okay, if it is a prime number, the result is already true because that's a prime number. Okay, the result is that either it should be a prime number or it should be a product of primes. Okay, it's already a prime number, leave that. Okay, now if that's a composite number, then what happens? If k plus 1 is not prime, if k plus 1 is not prime, which means that it is being divided by, okay, or the factors of k plus 1 are other than 1, k plus 1. Okay, so basically, what is a prime number? A prime number is a number which is being divided by at least three numbers. Okay, uh, leaving one and two, like one and the number itself aside. Okay, so if k plus 1 is not prime, then obviously k plus 1 can be written as the product of two numbers. Okay, if not primes, at least two numbers. Okay, so let's suppose we have written this k plus 1 as p into q. If that is a problem, we can obviously take an example and clear this result in our mind. Let's say take it 10 as the example. 10, let's say 10 as k plus 1. Okay, so 10 is a not prime number, okay, or a composite number. So obviously this can be written as 5 into, sorry, 5 into 2. Okay, 10 can be written as 5 into 2, where okay, now this 5 is a prime and this 2 is also a prime. Okay, so 10 is being written as the product of prime, so the result is true for 10. Okay, so let's see it over here. Then k plus 1 can be written as p into q. So we have written this k plus 1 as some p into q. Okay. Now this result holds for p. Okay. Now please see this, that this p and q, the value of these p and q would be lesser than 10. Okay. Please remember this, that if you write a number as a product of two numbers, those numbers would be less than this number minus 1. Okay, that's why P and Q would be less than not just this K plus 1 but K also. Okay. Now this result holds for P and Q. Why this result holds for P and Q? Because P and Q are less than K. Now we had already written over here in the induction hypothesis step, we have written that every integer between 2 and K, okay, for every integer between 2 and K, the result holds. Okay, the result is true. Now, P and Q both are numbers less than K, hence the result is true for them also by induction hypothesis. Okay, that's why P and Q can be P and Q are either primes or they can be written as the product of primes. So we would write P as the product of primes and Q also as the product of primes. Okay, so K plus 1 would be some chain of product of primes. Okay, hence the result is true. So k plus 1 is also being written as the product of primes only. Okay, so basically what we have done for the proof, we have taken two cases. First one, if k plus 1 is a prime, then obviously the result is true. Now in the second case, we have seen that if k plus 1 is not a prime number, then obviously this can be written as the multiplication of two numbers. Now those numbers are less than k, hence the result is true. The above result is true for p and q. Hence p and q can be written as the product of primes. Hence k plus 1 is also written as the product of primes. Okay, and hence the result is true. Now we have proved the result for k plus 1 only. Okay. Now after this, by PMI we can say that if the result is true for k plus 1, then the result is true for all the natural numbers uh, by using the second principle of PMI. Okay, and these numbers are greater than or equal to 2. Why? Because we have started from 2 only. Okay, if we have started from if suppose we have started from 10 or 20, 21, or something like that, then obviously the result in the last line we would say that Pn is true for all the n greater than or equal to 21 by Pn. Okay, so this second principle, and also this is known as the strong principle of mathematical induction. This give you the freedom of choosing any number of any starting point. Okay, but in the previous principle of AMI, what happens is we have to start from n is equals to 1. Okay, I hope both the principles of PMIs would be clear. Now let's see certain exercise questions that you have to do. Okay, so the first one says 3 to the power n minus 13 is the multiple of 2. So you have to show this is equals to 2 into something. So you should be able to write this as 2 into something. You have to prove this. Okay. Then in the second example, you have to prove that 1 plus 2 plus up till n is equals to n plus 1 by 2. In the third example, you have to prove this. Okay. ab to the power n is equals to a to the power n and b to the power n. Okay. I hope both the principles are clear. Okay, and you can obviously apply this over here. That would be very much easier. Okay. Let's see what we have learned in today's video. We have seen what the principle of mathematical induction is, and also we have seen the other version of it. Okay, and also we have seen the examples of both the versions, and also uh, we have seen certain real life examples and certain applications that uh, BMI have. Okay. So these are the references that you can obviously refer to study. Okay, this is besides all the notes that I would give, yeah, or any other, source would give you. Books are the best source of studying. Okay, so please go and refer to any of the books. Okay, being that from these two or from some other book, but please read some book over the subject. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video, and this is all from my side. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and be safe.